The beautiful Breede River Valley, known for its wine, roses and thoroughbred horses, was poised for even greater things when they hosted the South African K2 Championships last month.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a very good dice today. The dynamic is often north-south, the Cape versus the Gautengers. Now we've definitely got a different element here today. 3 very strong British crews. We've got a lovely level. The rivers really is up. It's going to be a very exciting race. A lot of the top crews have come through from the World Champs 2 weeks ago in Canada. So we're used to racing at a high intensity, but the river is slightly different to racing on the flat water.
Yeah, that's the guys are saying, but it's flowing water. We never race on flowing water. It's got rapids. We never race on rapids. It's got weirs. We never race on weirs. And there was a portage. We do portages, but that's gone. So I don't know. We're just going to see. No, hopefully we'll do okay.
International participation from Britain has injected new life into the annual Breede River Canoe Marathon. And despite a record of 486 paddlers, the British are considered to be the most serious challenge ever for a South African K2 title.
There's a lot of water on the river. We're thankful that we've had all the good rain, and the river's going to be tricky for everybody, but certainly it's going to make a very quick race. And the people that are here, all our top paddlers, the international paddlers, are going to have a good time on the race today.
They're already 30 minutes into the race now, and 6 boats have managed to get a considerable lead over the rest of the field. There's plenty of water in the river as well. Going into the first weir, Wilson and Lombard are leading the women's race, with Lahu and Miedema just behind in second place. Because of the British participation, a South African national team had to be appointed at short notice. They're approaching the Hode main weir. Jacques Theron and Russell Willis have found the right line and they've maintained their position. But there are problems in the background there. Robbie Herefeld and Graham Monteith. You can see their boat has turned through 180 degrees and they're going to end up going down the weir backwards, losing valuable time. One of the delights of the race is that even though the race is held every year over the same stretch of water, because the water levels vary, it delivers different challenges. Herefeld and Monteith have got over their problems, but they've still got a lot of work to do if they're to catch up the bunch. In amongst that group, and it's the second bunch, are the first juniors, Pretorius and Murphy. Also there, the second British boat through, David Coulson and Simon Dark. With the high levels of the river, portaging wasn't compulsory, but was recommended at certain areas, and the SAP Diving Rescue Squad were on hand to ensure safety. Approaching the low water bridge, Paul and Maynard Moreira are followed by Barto and Pengeli in the first 2 positions. Also Herefeld and Monteith, followed by Peter Cole and David Moke. With the weir just ahead of them, it's Connor Holmes and Steve Baker of Great Britain, followed by Graham Bird and Pierre Cruikshanks. That's Ironman Henk Watermeyer and Darnie Leonard in front, with Jenkins and McGuigan following. The second British boat of Simon Dark and David Coulson are also keeping up. But it's British team members Danny Beasley and Paul Enoch who fall prey to the South African conditions, taking 3 boats with them along the way. Back to the women's race, Wilson and Lombard are struggling with a leaking boat and a malfunctioning pump. So it's Nikki Lahu and Abby Miedema who take the lead. The finish of the first day, and there was a little bit of controversy with a problem with the starter's gun firing 2 minutes early, which led to an appeal by Robbie Herefeld and Graham Monteith, but nobody was disqualified. So the results at the end of the first day, Daryl Barto and Brett Pengeli lead, followed by Peter Cole and David Moke.
No, we've got Paul Murray and Maynard Murray with us, who are also a Western Province team. And then hopefully Graham Solomon and Murray Wilson are strong today, which, if they're strong, that'll make a big difference, because then it'll be 3 boats and we can maybe do a bit.
Drew Bridge just outside Bonnievale, and the start of day 2 with the first batch of 30 paddlers leaving in the order they finished the first day. Weather conditions are perfect and the water level's high. Graham Solomon and Moray Wilson take the lead through the waterfall rapid. Not far behind them are Pengelly and Bartow. They're in second place, followed by Cole and Moke in third. Roelof van Riet and Andre Collins leading the race in the Masters category. With the SAP divers looking on, there are some changes in the women's race, with Alexa Lombard and Jean Wilson overcoming their problems of the first day. To take the lead, Nikki Lahu and Abby Miedema have been relegated to second place. Back in third, it's Kirsten Oliver and Lauren Simmons. The high water levels have created problems for the spectators, who no longer have some of their favourite spots available to them. And here's our first view of the only K4 competitor in the race. At the waterfall weir, and no problems for Nkululeko Magobane and Donnie Scott. Peter Cole and David Moke managed to hang on to the back of the leading bunch, and they've decided to take a channel to the right, leaving the leaders Monteith and Herifelt and Bird and Crookshanks, as well as Tarrant and Willis, to go left. Now, with the river being choked with hyacinth, it left Bartow and Pengelly and Paul and Maynard Moret to slip through into second and third, with Cole and Moke now taking the lead. As well as the experts, there are plenty of social paddlers here as well. And for some of those, I'm afraid, the dip is just an occupational hazard. Just 2 kilometres remaining, and Connor Holmes and Steve Baker, the British pairing, are now lying in 7th place. There's Moses Africa and John Stadler. They're far from being novices. They've competed in many of the year's leading races, including the Berg River Canoe Marathon. And here are South Africa's K2 champions, Peter Cole and David Moke, completing the marathon in 4 hours, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Pengelly and Bartow are in second, followed by Paul and Maynard Moret in third. The South African women's K2 champions are Alexa Lombard and Jean Wilson. They crossed the line in 4 hours, 32 minutes and 34 seconds.
I think probably we had one of the hardest pedals we've had in my life almost. We were on the back of the bunch of about 8 for about the first 45 minutes. And I think it was just river knowledge from doing it last week that we managed to just stay in contact, and then when our chance came, we took it. And David was a star. We just kept it together and tried to keep ahead of the Tuna Talbots.
That was very, very hard. And I don't know, I think we actually did better than we expected. I don't think we thought we'd do as well as we did. But I think we just sort of inherited a few positions. But the quick boats, the quick South African boats, they just kicked us. So